Welcome to the Food Bloggers Table. Pull up a chair for authentic conversations and actionable advice from fellow food bloggers and industry experts. I'm your host, Jen, and I create custom food blogs designed to earn top-tier ad income. Join us now at the table as we break bread and build brands. Is a website redesign worth it?
So for me, it was absolutely worth it. And of course, I'm biased because I'm talking to you and you designed my website. But I will say that I came into redesigning my website from a place of, what year did we do that? That was 2 years ago. So that would be 2023.
2023?
The last time that I had my site redesigned was 2016. So digitally speaking, that was an outdated website. It was on the Genesis theme, but Kadence came out and I had been seeing it around and it just looked really nice. I was also just looking to get a fresh website because I had the funds to do it. I had the time to do it. And it was just something I just wanted to do for me and my business, for us. I just wanted to do it for us. So oddly enough, I found you in a blogging group. It wasn't specifically for food bloggers. And I can't remember if I asked for designers or if I saw you in a thread, but this is a little bit of cheering for Jennifer. You either commented or I reached out to you and you asked me to take a chance on you because you'd never done a food blog before. And I was like, cool, whatever, let's figure this out. So I think it was really fun to work with you because we had a lot of bumps, but they weren't detrimental bumps. What I appreciated about you is that you were very intentional about the design that you were making because you recognized that food blogging is a very different kind of blogging than a lot of other people's blogging. When you have recipes and ingredients and tutorials and things that are broken down by holiday and diet and all the ways that you can break down content in food, it becomes heavy and complicated.
Yes.
That was another thing. That was another goal for me, was to get more organized with my website because in 2016, when my site was redesigned, I had only been blogging for 2 years. So I didn't have as much content. And so by the time we got to 2023, I had so much content that was not organized and it wasn't presented very pretty, to be perfectly honest. So what I think was that the Kadence theme, which is beautiful, really helped showcase the photography side of things while also making it a very easy way to organize my content. And I will say, I went into my redesign. I think you even asked me, do you want to redesign your logo? And I was like, no. And then you were like,
That sounds like me.
did this anyway. What do you think? And I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. And I never felt pressured into changing my logo. And it was, of course, it was an iteration of my logo. It's not I completely overhauled it. I just simplified it. And that was the thing. I told you going into everything, I just wanted everything to be simplified and streamlined. And you took that and ran with it and made me a whole new logo that has served me really well for the last 2 years. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's so simple. It's just words and a whisk.
Which is so perfect, because the thing about logo design, and this is where we all get tripped up, we want it to embody our brand. So we try to put our tagline, we try to put all these things into it. But when I start saying, let's simplify it, I think people are afraid of that. They're like, I don't want it to be too simple. But if you look at big brands, and I will go with the Golden Arches, before my kids could read, they could recognize the McDonald's sign from 142 miles away. That was the thing about the logo design, was making it simple, but also in a way that still felt super branded and super you.
Yeah, I really liked that. So yeah, with the website redesigning itself, I actually did see a boost in SEO. And I can't say it was 100% the design, but I think what happened was that my site became easier to navigate. It became easier to interact with. And I think that, combined with SEO work that I had been doing, was just snowballing. And in the last 2 years, I have gotten more compliments on how pretty my site is than I ever did before. I don't think anyone ever thought about what my site looked like. From day one, my website, when I first started in 2014, was hideous. And you evolve. But I will say, if you don't love your site, you're also not going to love showing it off. So
True.
I think that has also helped me the last couple of years, is to just be more proud of my content and my site and how easy it is to navigate and use. And I'm always doing little tweaks and things here and there. I'm still always tweaking something. In fact, we just made something new a couple weeks ago because as you evolve, as your readers evolve, as as you get bigger, you notice that things work better. And having somebody like you who is quick to respond, but not in a way that I feel like I'm taking advantage of your ability to do things quickly. I just always appreciate how fast you are to fix something or make a suggestion or something like that. You are lovely to work with.
And you are so kind. And just so y'all know, this is not sponsored. This is not an ad.
I didn't get a free site design out of this. I promise.
Oh,
I paid her
doggone it. Maybe we should talk about it. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. And one of the things that I really like to explain to people is you can get a pretty website from a lot of places, cheaper even than from me. I'll be the first to admit it, but that's not what it's really about. At the end of the day, you can have a pretty, very slow, very unorganized website. It's an interesting balance between beauty and functionality. And the one thing that I always want to make sure people understand, you can pay a really high price or a really low price for beauty. You can pay an exorbitant price for functionality. We're talking 10 to 20K. But at the end of the day, you need a little bit of both. Marry beauty, but also functionality, and understand that the organization and the stuff that's not so pretty, all the back end stuff, that's what's going to get people to keep digging in and staying on your site. So there needs to be intentionality in your website design, from the design and the beauty aspect to the functionality and just how it works and how people interact with it. So if somebody is saying, I've got some money put aside and I'm thinking maybe it's time, but I'm afraid to pull the trigger, what would you suggest to them?
I would say what I say to my kids is just do it scared.
I love that.
Yeah. Because I feel like you're not going to regret making your site look better. And if you're working with the right person, another thing I really liked about you is that you really listened to what I said. If you're being intentional about it and you have a vision, I would say don't do it unless you have a vision. However, I think just like with my logo, I was like, no, I'm not going to redesign it. And then you showed me something and I was like, oh, actually, yeah, let's do that.
I ask a lot of questions that make you dig deeper into your brand, your why, and all the questions that may seem irrelevant because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just sharing recipes. But there's more to it than that. It's not just pretty. It's not just organized. There's another level of it that is what makes you unique. And I've got whole episodes on determining what makes you unique, because in a sea of food bloggers, you have to find something different. People need to connect somehow with your brand. So what is it that makes yours unique? And so that's why I ask the questions. It's not just to be annoying or to give you homework, because the teacher in me is just, okay, homework time. We don't just do homework for the sake of busy work. It's for a reason.
I agree. Your approach to redesigning my website and your questionnaire also helped me build a really amazing About Me page, because I had clearer direction of where I wanted people to go on their journey when they got to my site. And my meet page is actually really high up there in my pages that are viewed in a year. So I think redesigning, is it worth it? Yes, I think it's worth it if you're ready for it.
And since you and I have worked together, I have streamlined my processes even a bit more. And while the redesign itself is a week-long process, I have taken all of these things like the questionnaire and the meetings and some of these things and broken them out beforehand, so that when we get into the design phase of it, it is just design, what you think, design, what do you think, design, thoughts. It's so very streamlined, because again, even in my web design business, just like you were saying, as a food blogger, you evolve over time and you start realizing what works and what people are asking for. And I think in my own business, it's the same thing. It's like people were getting stuck at a certain point. So I have an entire vault now, videos and all the things to help clients be able to feel confident, because sometimes you don't even know how to answer some of the questions. Maybe you as a food blogger have never dug into really why you do what you do and who you serve. What do you really love? What do you want to talk about all the time? And as you ask yourself these questions, you'll start unpacking things that you didn't even realize you had to get through to really find the heart of your brand. And I think that's one of the beautiful things of redesigning. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Food Bloggers Table. I'm your host, Jennifer Holt, and I look forward to serving you in the next episode.